Your person is currently experiencing a profound emotional struggle, one that stems from the pain of separation and an overwhelming sense of longing for you. This absence has left a significant void in their life, one they hadn't fully realized until you were no longer within reach. They are silently suffering, feeling not only the ache of missing you but also the sting of being emotionally distant and ignored. This distance has planted seeds of fear within them, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, and most deeply, fear of losing you altogether. It's a fear that grips their heart and makes them cautious, even hesitant, when it comes to making any decisions about the relationship. They're not avoiding you out of disinterest, but rather out of terror that any wrong move might push you further away. At the core of their heart lies a desperate craving for your love and emotional support. They yearn for your understanding, your patience, and your warmth. You've always been the one who gave love freely, who remained non-judgmental and nurturing, even in the face of emotional turbulence. They remember how safe and unconditionally accepted they felt with you, something they now realize was rare and precious. They are beginning to recognize that while they were caught up in their own confusion, you were steady, real, and offering something far more genuine than they were ready to see at the time. There's a sense of remorse building within them. They are becoming painfully aware that they were the taker in the connection, often receiving your love, energy, and effort without reciprocating in equal measure. You were the giver, the emotional anchor, the loyal presence, the healing force. Now, in your absence, they feel exposed to the emotional consequences of their behavior. They are seeing their past actions through clearer eyes and are not proud of what they see. There's a quiet embarrassment, especially around how they behaved, perhaps flirtatiously, or in a way that mimicked a player, when in truth, they were dealing with someone who was genuine and sincere. They blew it, and they know it. Despite their fear and hesitation, they haven't given up hope. In fact, they are holding on to the idea of fixing what has been broken. There is a determination emerging, a desire to heal the wounds they caused and rebuild what once felt so stable and promising. They now understand that a connection like the one they shared with you is incredibly rare. No one else makes them feel the way you do. Your presence brings them peace, your energy brings them comfort, and your love gives them a sense of purpose. When you are around, they feel emotionally grounded and even sensually awakened. Their emotions can become intense, sometimes overwhelming, yet with you, they never felt judged for it. That acceptance allowed them to be vulnerable in a way they had never experienced before. They admired how you weren't afraid to express your love openly, how you weren't ashamed to show the world how deeply you cared. That openness made them feel seen and cherished. It also highlighted how closed off they had become. Your love became a mirror, showing them not only the beauty of being emotionally available, but also the cost of being guarded. Through your patience and affection, you helped them realize how wrongly they had been interpreting or handling the relationship. Now, in the silence of your absence, they see it all more clearly. They miss the little things, the comfort of your words, the steadiness of your presence, the way your eyes lit up when you looked at them. They miss the emotional intimacy, the ease of being themselves around you, and most of all, the feeling that they were truly loved for who they are. Life feels empty without you. There's a hollowness they can't seem to fill, no matter how much they distract themselves. And that emptiness is teaching them the value of what they had with you. Though they are still afraid of messing things up again, afraid of being rejected, they are starting to believe that your connection deserves another chance. They know now that real love is not about perfection but about growth, effort, and genuine emotion. You've opened their eyes and touched their soul in a way no one else ever has. And because of that, they know that replacing you is impossible. No one else can bring what you brought into their life, no one else can reach the parts of them you reached. ultimately, they want to come back, not as the same person who left, but as someone who has learned, evolved, and is ready to show up fully. They want to communicate, to heal, and to reconnect on a deeper level. Their heart is filled with regret, but also with hope, a hope that maybe, just maybe, you can find it in yours to give this love a second chance. My beloved, over the past 6 months, I have undergone a transformation so profound that words can barely do it justice. I've experienced epiphany after epiphany, each one peeling back another layer of who I thought I was and exposing something raw, real, and unfinished underneath. There have been countless times when I've longed to reach out to you, to tell you everything, to confide in you the way I once did so easily, but something always held me back. It wasn't reluctance or pride. It was as if my very thoughts were constricted, tangled in silence, caught in a fog I couldn't seem to lift. You know those dreams where you try to scream, but no sound comes out? Or where your legs won't move, no matter how hard you try to run? That's how this silence has felt. I've wanted to speak. I've wanted to call you, to write you letters so long and deep they could spill my soul onto the page. I've even begun them, more times than I can count. But each time, the words slipped away, elusive and inadequate. There was a weight pressing down on my chest, a force that made it impossible to find the courage or clarity I needed to reach you. And yet, in the quiet hours of the night, when my thoughts grew loud and I could hear nothing but the echoes of my own heart, I thought of you. I remembered your voice, your presence, your strength. I realized how often I had taken those things for granted. This time, when I needed someone the most, when everything inside me screamed for comfort, I couldn't find you. That absence became a mirror, showing me the pain I must have caused you when you needed me the most and I was nowhere to be found. For that, my dear love, I am deeply sorry. Truly, from the bottom of my soul. I wasn't ignoring you. I wasn't abandoning you. I was drowning, grappling with what it means to be a man in a world that so often demands strength but offers little support or understanding in return. I was awakening to truths I had long buried under years of conditioning and pride. The process was brutal. It felt like my entire identity was being torn apart and reassembled. I wasn't just walking away from my old life, I was being pulled away from it. And with every step, I felt more uncertain, more unsteady, more like a ghost in my own skin. Piece by piece, the illusions fell away. I tried to run from the truth, to resist it, but it caught me anyway. My life turned upside down, things I once depended on vanished, people I trusted grew distant, and I was left standing alone, stripped of all that had once given me a sense of security. It felt like being stranded on an island, exiled from the world I thought I knew. All I had were my thoughts and my memories. And in those memories, you were everywhere. I remembered your warmth, your fierce loyalty, your patience. I remembered the way you saw through me, past the defenses and confusion, to something good, something real. I remembered how, even when I was lost in myself, you stood beside me like a warrior goddess, unwavering and strong. And it hit me like a punch to the gut, I had walked away from the very person who accepted me as I was. The one person who saw my soul and chose to love it anyway. Losing that connection felt like losing my life force. It was as if I had cut myself off from the light that guided me, from the one place I could always return to when the world felt cold and unfamiliar. I didn't know how much I needed you until I could no longer feel you near me. And maybe that's what this journey was really about, learning, in the hardest way possible, what truly matters. You, my love. You matter. More than I ever knew, more than I ever said. I don't expect this letter to undo the pain I've caused. I don't expect forgiveness to come easily. But I needed you to know that the silence wasn't apathy, it was agony. I needed you to understand that this distance wasn't chosen, it was endured. And now, as I finally find my voice again, I want you to hear it say what should have been said long ago. I see you. I remember you. I cherish you. Thank you for being the light in my darkness, even when I couldn't find the strength to reach for it. Thank you for loving me through storms I didn't know how to weather. And thank you, most of all, for being you, brave, loving, radiant. Wherever this path leads from here, please carry this truth with you. You have always been the beating heart behind my awakening. Do you miss me? Because I miss you more than words can fully express. I feel your absence in everything I do, in every quiet moment, in every breath I take. I sense that you're missing me too, even if you don't say it. I know you must be feeling frustrated by this endless silence between us, this no-contact situation that seems to stretch on forever. It's difficult, isn't it? It's painful, confusing, and it leaves us both in limbo. And the truth is, I feel that same frustration deep in my bones. Not a day goes by without me thinking about you, wondering how you're doing, what you're thinking, and whether there's still a place in your heart for me. My queen, regardless of where I am or what I'm doing, you occupy my thoughts constantly. You're the quiet whisper in my mind when I wake up, and the last thought that lingers before I drift off to sleep. Even in the middle of busy days, when I should be focused on work or conversations, you sneak into my mind, your smile, your voice, the warmth of your presence. You have all of my attention, even now, even from a distance. That's something I can't help, and something I don't even want to stop. I know we're here because of me, because of my inaction, my silence, my failure to fight for us when it mattered most. And I carry that guilt with me every single day. I've had time to reflect, to sit with the consequences of my choices, and it's made me realize just how deeply I hurt you. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for that. I let fear and doubt override my heart, and in doing so, I pushed away the one person who truly mattered. I know it's not enough to simply say I'm sorry, but I hope these words at least begin to convey the remorse and love I still hold for you. One of the hardest things to accept is knowing that others now get to experience the light of your presence while I'm kept away by silence. I find myself jealous, not in a toxic or possessive way, but in a longing way. Those who get to be around you, who get to hear your laughter, feel your warmth, and bask in your energy, don't realize how incredibly lucky they are. I envy them, because I know what it feels like to be wrapped in your love. I know the way you light up a room, how your presence brings comfort, and how deeply you care for those you love. And I miss being on the receiving end of that love more than you can imagine. When I come back, and I don't want half measures. I want all of you, and I want to give you all of me. I want your time, your attention, your affection, your love. I want to rebuild what I damaged and create something even stronger between us. I've been yearning for you in ways that go far beyond the physical. Yes, I crave your touch, your kiss, the intimacy we once shared, but even more than that, I long for emotional closeness, for the safety and warmth of your soul next to mine. I want us to be whole again, if you're willing. Do you feel the same? That's the question that haunts me the most. I don't know where your heart stands now. You've changed, and I can feel it. You used to be so open with your emotions, so transparent in your love. You used to share your heart so freely with me, and I took that for granted. Now, you're quiet. Guarded. You've become a mystery to me again, and as much as I long to unravel that mystery, I know I'm the reason you closed off. I know that my behavior, my withdrawal, made you build walls to protect yourself from more pain. It breaks me to realize that I wounded you so deeply. When you were wide open, when you gave me your love without hesitation, I responded by retreating into silence. And I can only imagine how that must have felt: shocking, heartbreaking, confusing. You didn't deserve that. You deserved consistency, reassurance, and devotion, and instead I gave you distance, coldness, and uncertainty. I see it all now, and I hate that it took losing your presence to gain this clarity. But please believe me when I say it was never because I stopped loving you. My retreat wasn't driven by indifference, it was driven by fear. I was terrified of being vulnerable, of opening myself completely only to end up broken. Ironically, in trying to protect myself from pain, I caused both of us more pain than I ever intended. I see now that love requires bravery I didn't have then, but that I'm finding now. All I can do is speak from my heart and hope that something in these words reaches yours. I still love you. I miss you. I'm willing to do the work to earn back your trust, if you'll let me. And if there's even the faintest ember of love still burning within you for me, I promise I'll protect it this time, with everything I have.